All right, so we've been looking at lists, and we're just about ready to apply them to our ball program. There is one thing I forgot to talk about that we're going to need, and that is this. We're going to want to start like with an empty list of balls, because we're not going to have any, and then we add them to the list to build up our list. And so the way you do that, the way you start out with an empty list is I'm making a list of names, but we're going to have a list of balls later on. But anyway, this is called family equals, and this is actually like an opening bracket and a closing bracket. It's used to denote the empty list, and we usually just have them together like that, so it kind of looks like a rectangle, but it's really an open bracket, closed bracket. And then if I print that out, it just prints out as an empty list. Okay, so that's what an empty list looks like printed out. Then if we want to add to that list, I can do this. So I'm going to append my name to the list and print out the list, and it's TJ. Okay, and then I can append my wife's name here, Dolores. I can stick on my kids' names, Christine and Sarah. And the length of this list is 1, 2, 3, now 4, right? But the length is going to change each time, right? If I start out here, let's just put the lengths underneath each one just to make sure you see what's going on. So it starts out with a length of 0, then it has a length of 1, 2, 3, all like that. Okay? So that's the idea behind building up a list. So let's apply that now to our ball here. Let's start out with an empty list of balls. And let's add you could just say for I in range, however many we want to make. We'll make 6 to start out with. 60 might be a lot. We'll see. And then we want to do something. We want to create a new ball, right? So we need a ball name. So let's get all these arguments that we want in here. So the name, let's make the name be bouncy plus. We'll use the number in the name. So we can't just say I, because we can't put together a string and a number that way. But we could, if we converted I into a string, then this could be bouncy 0, bouncy 1, and so on, right? So that's our name. So that takes care of our first part here. In fact, let's append ball name. So we're going to use name for the name of our guy. So, and they'll each have different names because I is going to take on different values each time we go through the loop. And then we need this X and Y business, the starting position. So let's do, and notice for name, now I'm not using self or anything like that, because I'm outside of any class. Okay, I'm doing stuff outside of any class. So I'm saying name, and then I need some kind of a, we'll just stick them in like this. We're going to need some kind of an X and a Y, and some kind of a, then we have remember the dx and the dy, so some kind of a dx and a dy. And so we'll figure out how we're going to make those up here. So now we've made our name already. So we have name equals that. So let's make our x. So x is going to be, let's use random, so we can stick something up at random. So random is one of those guys like math and like simple GUI where you need to import a module. So let's look that up. Let's see. So the random module is down here, and we want to pick a random value. So if we're looking at the x value, that's going to be somewhere between 0 and the canvas width, right? So so for our x, for this x, we want to be somewhere between the 0 and the canvas width. So let's see. So if we say rand range, if we look at that one, we can actually just say rand range. This one says rand range stop. That'll just give us a number from 0 up to almost up to stop. So that's good enough for what we want. So let's just pick a random number. Oh, did we import? Let's see. Yeah, we have to say import random. Import the modules. So we have to import random, and then here we're going to say random dot rand range canvas width. I'm going to copy that. Okay, and then for y is going to be very similar, except it's going to be for canvas height, right? We want y to be something in that range. So I'll just copy and paste. I like to do copy and pasting. I think I've said this before. It just helps me. It's a good way to make sure that you're not accidentally typing something wrong. Our change, our dx. Now here we want to be a little bit careful because we want to be able to have negative values too, so we could be going either to the left or to the right. Yeah, I think that'll look cooler. So what we can do is we can use what is it? I think it's, well, we could use rand int here. Yeah, rand int. So you can have a start and a stop, and that'll include the start number and the stop number. See, this is lesser equal, so you know that the biggest number you have, the stop number you have, is going to be included there. So, which is not the case for rand range, right? So, so I used rand range before, so I just wouldn't have to type in the 0, comma. But rand int, I think I wanted to use start stop because it's just easier for me to. It requires less thinking on my part. Rand int. If I say like I want that to be between -3 and 3, then I know that -3 and 3 are both possible values, but so are -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Right? And dy equals same thing. Okay. So now when I append this x, y, and so on, it should give me something a little bit different for each one, right? Now, though, what do we do up here in Draw Handler? We don't have ball 1 anymore. If I try to run this, it's going to say name error, name ball 1 is not defined. So I have this list of balls, but I don't have ball 1, ball 2, and so on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say for ball in balls. So see what I can do? I can take a list of ball objects and one at a time I can assign them to the variable ball. So I can say ball draw, canvas, and ball update, do it on each one of those. Okay, so save, and boom, and there I got 6 of them. And if I wanted more, I could make 16 of them. Okay? So that's a much easier way than having to go through each time and add something in different places. I just have to change my my number of balls here, right? And I could even have a variable like this, ball count equals 16 up at the top, because as you start writing more and more code, things like this little number down here, it's easy to lose track of it. But if I have something up at the top, a global variable up at the top named ball count, that's my number of balls that get created, then I can just use that, and I know, oh yeah, that's what I got to change the number of balls. All right, so that's yeah, so that's how you can use lists, so you can add a bunch more of your objects to the screen.